treated you, one of the things you said that God had put on your heart was health and wellness. And we have not talked about that subject here on Ask the Pastors. And that's not by happenstance. It's not by mistake, because it was ordained for you to talk about it. So give us a little bit about how you came to bring this to light in the body of Christ.
Okay. Well, first, let me say I am not a health guru or a nutrition expert, anything of that matter. But what happened was, going back many years, being an athlete, I was always into exercising and kind of staying in some level of shape up until my middle to late 20s. And then around my late 20s, after I left college, came home and started working, I kind of fell off the whole exercise thing. And I remember my mother called me at the time, telling me that she thought I should go to the doctor because I was working a corporate job, and we were right down the street from this restaurant that had the best chili, Pastor. And every day in the morning, I would eat, bacon, egg, and cheese, and then I would go back there later and get me a chili cheeseburger or a chili dog, and that was my diet. I didn't eat a lot of vegetables or anything like that. And so she kept trying to encourage me to improve in that area. Well, fast forward, started pastoring a church. I was working in New Jersey at the time, so I was working and doing ministry full time. My company was relocating to North Carolina, so it was time for me to redirect some things. And so at the time, I went and got a physical, and my doctor, who's been my doctor for a long time, was just surprised at some of my numbers. My cholesterol was high, my blood pressure was high. I was almost diabetic, and I was overweight. And so immediately he started talking about medicine, and I told him, give me some time, and let me work on something. Let me make some lifestyle changes, because at that particular time, I just thought I was too young to be on a whole bunch of pills. And so I did. At that time, Pastor, believe it or not, I had weighed in at 311 pounds at one point.
Wow.
Didn't think I was that big, didn't notice I was that big, until I took a pair of pants out the laundry one time, and I was like, whose big pants are these? And I realized they were mine. And so that's when I realized I had to make some serious changes. So I joined the gym. At one time I was down like 80 pounds, but I've kind of put a few back on here and there, but never the entire amount that I lost. And I started to notice, and then my mother kind of pushed us in the direction of getting off of flour, white flour, and into whole grains and whole wheats, and taking vitamins and things like that. And so I kind of adopted that. There were times when I would even give up red meat and things like that, and just make little adjustments and little changes, and started to feel better and lose weight. And so, but I realized at that time, even where the church is concerned, as great as we are as in creating an environment where we can express our culture, and really experience spirituality on another level, I didn't see the big push for health.
All right.
And I watched as a lot of our leaders, as anointed as they are, are not able to fulfill the destiny and purpose on their life because of health issues. And
Mm.
so it just became something, at least in the small circle that I could influence. I started talking about that and pushing that, where, you know, we have to be mindful of our health. It makes no sense to have these great anointings on our lives and can't fulfill them because it gets interrupted because we have health issues that in some cases could have been prevented. There are some where we might be genetically predisposed, and but even with those, if we make some changes, um, we may be able to avoid some of those things.
Hello, my name is Pastor David Whitmore, and I want to invite you to join us every Thursday evening, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time for Ask the Pastors. We have a host of pastors available to answer your questions, to take your prayer requests, and just be available for you in these different and difficult times.